Most men think they know how to touch a woman. They've been told to kiss her lips, hold her waist, maybe brush her hair back. But if that's all you know, then you're only scratching the surface of intimacy. Because a woman doesn't just respond to where you touch her. She responds to how you awaken her body, and even more than that, how you awaken her energy. Today, I'm going to show you the hidden points on a woman's body that most men ignore. Points that, when approached with calm masculine presence, can unlock a level of attraction and intimacy she didn't even know she could feel. But this isn't about tricks or cheap moves. This is about reprogramming how you see intimacy, how you hold your masculine energy, and how you guide the feminine in a way that makes her surrender naturally. If you stay until the end, you won't just know the points. You'll understand how to embody the kind of man who touches a woman's soul without saying a word. Let's be honest. Most men fail with women not because they lack effort, but because they lack understanding. They've been programmed by weak culture, by movies that show passion as chaos, and by advice that tells men to always be gentle or ask for permission in a way that kills polarity. The result? Men touch women with hesitation instead of certainty. They rush physical intimacy, trying to get something instead of awakening her slowly. Or they only focus on the obvious areas, thinking attraction is just about breasts, lips, and hips, while completely missing the spots that trigger feminine surrender. The truth is, women are wired differently. Their body is full of pathways that connect directly to their heart, their emotions, and their subconscious mind. And when you, as a man, understand this, when you learn to guide her through these pathways, she will never see you the same again. Point 1. The back of the neck. The first spot is the back of her neck. This area is ancient. For thousands of years, it has been linked to vulnerability and surrender. In nature, animals expose their neck only when they feel safe. For a woman, the back of the neck is where she unconsciously decides if she can relax into your masculine frame. When you approach this spot, it's not about grabbing. It's about claiming with calmness. A gentle touch at the base of her neck, combined with steady eye contact, tells her subconscious, "You are safe. You are mine. You can let go now." Most men overlook this, but the few who understand, they create instant polarity because she doesn't just feel your hand, she feels your energy taking the lead. Point 2. The wrists and hands. The next spot is her wrists and hands. Why? Because her wrists are delicate and they carry veins close to the skin. They're tied to her sensitivity and trust. When you touch her wrist, you're not just holding her body. You're holding her pulse, her life force. Here's the secret. Don't rush. Take her hand slowly, turn it slightly, trace the inside of her wrist with your thumb. This isn't about arousal yet. It's about grounding her feminine energy into your masculine frame. The subconscious message here is powerful. I see you. I'm not in a hurry. I have time for you. Most men never realize how magnetic this is, but a woman will remember the man who made her feel alive with just the touch of her hand. Point 3. The collarbone and shoulders. Another overlooked spot is the collarbone and shoulders. These areas connect to vulnerability. Think about it. When a woman is stressed or guarded, her shoulders rise and tighten. When she feels safe and feminine, her shoulders drop and her collarbone opens. Touching her here is about guidance. Place your hand gently on her shoulder, slide it slowly toward her collarbone, and you'll notice her body soften. This is where the subconscious programming comes in. With me, you don't need to carry the weight. With me, you can relax. You're not just touching skin. You're signaling to her nervous system that she can stop being in control. She can step into her feminine. Point 4. The small of the back. One of the most powerful points is the small of her back. This area is directly tied to grounding and protection. When you place your hand here, you're not just touching, you're guiding. You're leading her forward, steadying her steps, reminding her body of the masculine role, protection, direction, presence. Every time you do this, you send her subconscious the message, I am here, I lead, you can trust me. This is why women love when a man guides them through a crowd by touching the small of their back. It's not just physical, it's primal. It awakens her need to feel protected and led. Point 5. The hips. The hips are powerful, not just physically, but energetically. In feminine psychology, the hips are where life, creation, and sensuality are stored. When you touch a woman's hips, you're not just stimulating attraction. You're tapping into her feminine essence. But here's the key. It must be slow, steady, and intentional. A needy grab kills the moment, but a calm, grounded hold communicates something else entirely. I honor your feminine power. I can hold it without losing myself. This is where most men fail. They approach the hips with lust, but the masculine man approaches with reverence, and that difference is everything. Point 6. Behind the ears. This spot is subtle but incredibly intimate. Behind the ears is connected to sensitivity and anticipation. When you lean in, when you breathe softly near her ear, when your hand traces lightly behind it, you're awakening a deep feminine response that is more emotional than physical. It's the place that whispers to her subconscious, I desire you, but I'm not in a hurry. I can build anticipation until you can't resist anymore. This is how you turn attraction into longing. Point 7. The inner thigh. Finally, the inner thigh. This is where intimacy builds into surrender. But let me be clear, this spot is not about rushing to the end. It's about building a journey. The inner thigh is the bridge between emotional intimacy and physical intimacy. When you touch her here, do it with patience, do it with control, do it with presence. Her subconscious will feel it. This man doesn't need to take. He chooses to guide. He makes me want to give. And that, brother, is the ultimate secret. Intimacy isn't about getting something from her. It's about awakening something inside her. Now, why is this important? Because if you don't understand this, you'll keep repeating the same shallow patterns. You'll chase, you'll grab, you'll rush, and she'll never feel the depth of your masculine presence. But when you shift your programming, when you start seeing touch, not as performance, but as energy, everything changes. You stop being just another man. You become the man she can't stop thinking about. The man who makes her feel safe, alive, feminine, desired. Understand this. Intimacy is not about tricks. It's not about where your hands are. It's about who you are when you touch her. Women don't surrender to hands. They surrender to presence. So the next time you're with a woman, remember these points. But more importantly, remember the truth. She doesn't want just a man who touches her body. She wants a man who awakens her soul. And when you learn to be that man, she'll never see you the same again.